pizzas, including vegan options. More than pizza, Little E's has hearty homemade soups, appetizers, calzones, and strombolis, plus a variety of salads with vegan and gluten-free options. Open Wednesday and Thursday 11 to 9, Friday and Saturday until 9:30. Phone 724-880-6012 or stop in Little E's 7 West South Street across from a parking garage.
Stays compass. I got no direction now. I'm gonna find my way somehow. Barely on this tightrope. I'm stuck in between the here and now, and I'm trying to figure out.
And now we welcome Wendy O'Brien from the Proden and O'Brien Law Firm, and of course Josh here from WMBS, and this is A Couple of Things with Wendy and Josh. Guys, take it away.
Thanks.
Hey,
Hi,
Wendy.
Josh. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Hello, everybody.
That's right. It's good to see you all again. I've been here for a while. She just got here. It was just nice to have someone new in the
he's
studio.
all warmed up. He's
I
all
am.
warmed up for us this afternoon.
She is in her USA colors as well as Valentine's Day.
Yeah, / Valentine's Day, because today it's all about love.
I love it. I love it.
Let's do a Valentine's show for everybody.
Absolutely. So, do you want to give our little disclaimer off the top?
Yeah, let's do our little disclaimer. First of all, we're going to talk about some things in the law and, some ideas, some theories, some, things that relate back to love and marriage and divorce and that kind of fun stuff. But, of course, anything we say here today, we're just talking. We're just giving you some ideas. This is not legal advice. If you need legal advice, you should contact an attorney. You can contact our law firm, contact an attorney about your specific case, and make sure you get all the facts to an attorney and have them analyze your case independently.
Absolutely. They are going to make sure they steer you right. And one of the local attorneys you can go to is Wendy O'Brien from Proden and O'Brien right here in Uniontown.
Yeah.
How can they call you?
724-437-3484. We're 2 buildings before the courthouse on the right-hand side, 99 East Main Street. Stop in. Send us an email. It's wlobrien@prodenlaw.com. You can get on our website, prodenlaw.com.
Talk to us send it on Facebook. Some way we'll get you in touch with Wendy if you want to talk to her. So
yeah.
But today, like you said, today is Valentine's Day.
Right.
It's our Valentine's Day show, and you sent me Love, Lies, and the Law.
Yes.
That is a good title.
The romantic decisions you could regret in court, right?
I guess so.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right.
So, yeah, you ever hear the saying that love makes you do stupid things?
Yes.
Isn't that the truth, right?
Yes, I think we can attest to that.
Yeah.
Everybody personally, you see it happen too.
Absolutely. As a family law attorney / criminal defense attorney, you see that quite a bit.
Yeah.
That love does make you do stupid things.
Right.
So, what can we do to try to prevent those stupid things from happening, or to prevent your love life being, spread out in court documents for all the world to see?
Right.
Because don't forget, as we go through these things, if you end up in court over some domestic dispute, whether it be, a criminal matter, whether it be a financial matter, child custody matter, divorce matter, those aren't private hearings. They're open to the public.
Yeah.
So anybody could walk in your
dirty
courtroom.
laundry could be out there.
Your laundry's everywhere. So
Yeah.
you don't want that.
You don't want that. So just be smart about it.
Yeah. And I wrote on here, courts don't deal in flowers and chocolates. They deal in contracts, consequences, and credibility.
There you go.
And that's where we're going to get started.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you're making solid decisions, sound decisions
Yeah.
before, the flowers and chocolates are all good when everything's good.
Yeah.
But you don't want to have to deal with the other stuff in court.
Of course not. So let's talk about the most underrated contract that the majority of the people in the world actually enter into.
Yes.
And that is marriage.
Okay,
Right? That's
yeah.
the contract of love.
Yeah.
And I don't know if our reader or our listeners know that marriage is an actual contract. If you look at the definition in, it's not Webster's anymore, Merriam-Webster.
Okay.
This marriage, by definition, is the state of being united as spouses in a contractual relationship recognized by the law.
So there's actual legitimate paperwork behind marriage.
Yeah, it's a contract.
And I didn't read it. I don't know.
No, nobody reads it, but it's your promise to each other.
Yeah.
To be together forever.
Right.
Until death do us part. That kind of thing.
Right.
So, people don't take that serious.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't that make sense that maybe before you enter into probably the biggest contract of your life,
right,
that you think about a little bit and think about, okay, what's going to happen if one of us defaults on this contract? You know what happens if you default on your mortgage. You know what happens if you default on your car loan.
Yes.
So what happens if a party to a marriage,
right.
defaults?
So people aren't necessarily thinking about it. They're thinking
No.
about all the good, gushy, happy feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the thing that overrides it. But there is a practical component to it that is probably something you should pay attention to.
Right. So I tell people, I use the word prenup and everybody gets sick. Like, oh no, not a prenup,
Right.
not a prenup. But a prenup is a great idea for a lot of people. And just for our listeners, a prenuptial agreement is a contract you actually enter before marriage.
Okay.
Before you say I do, that basically lays out what's going to happen in the event this marriage does not work.
Okay.
What's going to happen, with our financial items, our property, stuff I've had before marriage, stuff we acquire after marriage, what's going to happen if one of us die. There's a lot, and we can go into some details about what
Yeah.
a prenup can do and problems it can solve for you.
Yeah, does it probably plays into and integrates with a will as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so
it
it's a big
definitely
piece.
it definitely can. You have a lot of power in a prenuptial agreement. But most people say, "Oh, I don't need a prenup. I don't
Of
have
course.
anything. I don't need a prenup."
I would say all those things myself.
Yeah.
I mean, just
most
being
people-
honest. Yeah.
most people do.
We're not super wealthy. And I also think that, I'm not going to need it. And I think that's probably how most people feel.
Yeah.
But you're saying there is value to it, at least be considered.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just think about for a minute what kind of, relationships that a marriage is creating. It's creating property rights amongst you. It's creating debt responsibility among the two of you. So you're going to acquire loans. You're going to acquire credit cards. You're going to, and maybe your wife had a credit card before you were married, and then she passes away or something. Are you going to be obligated for that just because you're married to her?
Right.
There's some real property issues, debt issues that a prenup can sort of resolve ahead of time
Okay.
for the parties.
Yeah. So it's something that, from your perspective, again, is at least something people should take serious and consider.
Yeah.
If they're going to enter into marriage,
Yeah.
they should think about, could this help us? And again, it's almost like, to me, I take it on the same vein as like life insurance. Nobody wants to actually get it because
that's
it
good.
means I'm
Yeah.
going to die.
That's good, yeah.
That's not what it means. It means that you're looking out for the future just in case.
So most people say, when they're getting married, they're happy. They're not getting married with the expectation they will get
course not.
divorced.
Right.
But I can tell you from 20 years of practice in family law, the person you marry is not the same person you're divorcing.
Yeah.
And they would say the same about you too.
Yeah.
So you got to have, if you have a contract in place, there's no fighting. It's
It's
black and
absolute.
white. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Period.
Anybody who's been in a long-term relationship, whether it be marriage or whether it just be a long-term relationship, a lot of things change. You both are growing as individual people, and your relationship changes and
Yeah.
goes through stages and seasons.
Yeah.
All that stuff happens. You just don't know. You're not sure what may happen. So,
Well, and I would say, a lot of people get married young. I was young. Were you young when you got married?
the first time.
Yeah. So
This time it's been really good, 20 years plus. So,
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm on. This year was 26 years of
Wow.
marriage, but I was young.
This was we just hit our 20th, but the first time that I was married, I was only 21.
Yeah.
And I was married for just almost 3 years, and it just wasn't right.
Yeah.
Because I was young and making dumb decisions. So,
So maybe we can encourage our listeners.
yeah.
to talk to your young kids about a prenuptial agreement to help line these things out for them.
Right.
Because I really think a prenuptial agreement is something that's not really planning for divorce, but you're planning for adulthood.
Yes.
This is how, adults actually deal.
Yes.
It's a business transaction, essentially.
Yeah.
It's a marriage, of course, because of love.
Right.
But it's also a business transaction.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point too. It's a way you can kind of guide the people, that young love, to take it serious as they're entering it. That
Yeah.
marriage isn't just a logical next step for sure.
No.
For everyone, it's just not.
Yeah.
So
And a good and you mentioned this, a lot of people say it's not for me. I don't need a prenup because I'm poor. I don't have money. of course, if you have lots of money and you have a trust account and you have the family business that you're running, you need a prenup. Like there's no question. Go get a prenup.
Right.
But poor people need prenups too.
Right.
And they're not that expensive. So let's just talk, like you come into a marriage with a lot of debt. I hear that a lot of times where, I married my husband. He had very low credit because, he had all these credit cards he had defaulted on. He was going to file bankruptcy or he did file bankruptcy. All of those things will follow you in a marriage.
Yes.
And then could eventually harm you.
Yeah.
Later on,
get you started behind the 8 ball.
Well, and a lot of people, sometimes they already have their own houses and they sell their house and they have proceeds from their house that is not marital funds, but you don't make that known going into your marriage. So later on, then when you come see me in your divorce action and you try to get your $100,000 from your house that was premarital,
or may not happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fight. I mean, we're gonna try, but
the more you can have things, line it up front.
Of course, yeah. A big scenario, and this actually happened to me personally, is when it's a second marriage and there's children from the first marriage, where you want to protect your inheritance for your children from your first marriage.
Yes.
That's a huge time to get a prenup. Now, this happened, my mom passed away 16 years ago. We've talked about that before. And my father remarried a few years ago. And of course, there's me and I have a sister too. I have a younger sister. So, I mean, my dad lives in my parents' house we grew up in.
Yeah.
It was a house given to my mother from her mother.
Yeah.
And, now he's remarried. I don't want his new wife to get that house, right?
Right. So, that's not who you know. No. That's who he knows.
If something happens to my dad, God forbid, she's his wife. She could inherit everything. But of course, he has a prenup, so
yeah,
we're gonna make sure that doesn't happen.
No, and I think that makes sense. I think that every single situation is going to be unique. There'll be some patterns, obviously, but everybody has different relationships with their kids, with their siblings. All the people involved are going to play a role in it too. Whether this may be something that would be beneficial to you,
right? And it's going to be a case by case scenario. So of course, talk to an attorney, see if it makes sense for you, makes sense for maybe your parents, maybe your children, but it's something to at least explore.
Yeah. Because
what a prenup can do is it actually outlines what is going to happen in the event of.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's infidelity. We see it all
happens.
the time. It does happen all the time. So what happens if a marriage does break up because of infidelity? Nobody predicted that. Nobody expected that.
Right.
But unfortunately, we got to be prepared for sometimes the unknown.
Right.
So we can talk about what happens with support, alimony. Those are big cash cows in a divorce action.
Yeah.
I mean, it can wipe people out to the point where they are forced to sell, the house they've lived in, the cars they've been driving, just so they can pay their alimony bill every month. Where a prenup can say, okay, if this happens, if there was infidelity, if it can be proven, or if you elect to leave the marriage under certain conditions, there's no alimony for you.
Yes.
Because that happens quite a bit. It doesn't really matter in the state of Pennsylvania. I don't know if you know this. If you're married and your spouse cheats on you, they can get APL during the course of the divorce.
Okay.
No matter who did what.
Okay.
If they make a lower income than you, so you're ending up basically supporting your ex's new spouse.
Which is going to be a tough pill to swallow.
It's messy. And I wish there was a better way to explain it to people, but guess what can help?
Yeah.
A prenup.
A prenup.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, this is probably a stupid question. Is there something like a mid-nup? What if you've been married for 10 years and everybody agrees, you're still even getting along, but you say, maybe we should do something?
It happens more than you know.
Really?
It's called a postnuptial agreement.
A postnup.
Yeah. So basically that just means after your nuptials, you've come up with this contract.
Okay.
And a lot of people, sometimes they do it as a separation agreement. They know that they're not doing good living together.
Yeah.
But dividing their assets up doesn't make sense for one reason or another. Usually it's because they have some kind of company or business that they're both running. Mm-hmm. They both want to continue to run it, or because they have children and they want to both continue supporting the children. But yeah, we can definitely do a postnuptial
Yeah.
agreement, which means we're not going to live together. We're not getting divorced, but here's what we're going to do to divide our assets for the meantime.
Right. I think that makes sense too. And like you said, every situation is unique. They may be running a business together. And this may be a way to kind of avoid a long, drawn out legal process where it can be resolved more amicably.
Yeah, 100%.
Because maybe you both know, hey, it's not working. We don't hate each other, but we need to figure out how we're going to do this.
Yeah, it's just thinking like a grown up. And sometimes and you have to in these situations just so much better financially for you if you come to the table and try to work it out.
Yeah.
Because you will know going into it what the outcome is going to be. You go to court, and we're going to talk about divorce a little bit later on, but if you leave it up to the courts, you just never know.
Yeah.
Because I've seen situations where I thought it was a pretty, obvious case of how things will be distributed, and you rub the judge the wrong way, and they have a lot of discretion on how things are awarded.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I think that's very good advice. If you're just joining us, you are listening to a couple of things with Wendy and Josh. I'm Josh Krysak. She's Wendy O'Brien. We get together once a month to talk about different legal aspects, legal stuff. She is from Proden O'Brien Law. Wendy, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how best can they do that?
Give us a call, 724-437-3484. We are located right on Main Street in Uniontown. Stop in and see us. We have a website, prodenlaw.com. We're on Facebook. Email us.
You'll find her.
Yeah.
She's out there.
But yeah, this is Valentine edition.
That's right. We're talking marriage, divorce, prenups, all the fun stuff. Because, and again, like you said too, not only is it a contract that people necessarily don't really review, it's a contract that millions and millions of Americans enter into.
Yeah.
And probably don't really pay attention to.
No, they don't realize the consequences of a marriage.
Yeah.
And they're great consequences too. We both are happily married.
Yes.
So we know marriage is awesome.
It is,
it's
for sure.
the greatest thing ever. But we've seen it go bad too.
Absolutely.
So when it does go bad, it can be very ugly.
Yeah.
So a prenuptial agreement is something you should talk to a lawyer about.
Yeah.
So the one thing I hear quite a bit is how do I bring this up with my future spouse?
Yes.
Ooh, because it's a little touchy.
Right, because you, like you said, and it's in your notes too.
Yeah.
We're different.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen to us.
Yes, they all say
And
it.
again, that's not necessarily a bad way to feel. It's not necessarily a bad way to feel because it means that you really love and care about the other person.
It does, yeah.
But you need to take a step back.
I think it's smart to sort of lay it out, lay out the assets you have, the debts you have. A lot of when people first get married, a lot of the assets that somebody does own is something that they've worked very hard to acquire because they're usually young.
Yes.
So maybe they've gone out and actually I don't know, been an entrepreneur in something and acquire these assets, and you probably love them for it. For how hard they've worked.
Right.
So why not give them this, you came into the marriage with this, you will go out of this marriage with this.
Right.
I think that's a fair and equitable way to discuss it.
Yeah.
You're not asking for more than you came in with.
Right.
This is what I came in with. If something happens to us, God forbid, this is what I want to come out with.
Right.
No more, no less. And I think that's the fair approach to do. What do you think? How would you I don't know.
No, I do agree with that.
If your wife would have been
I do agree with that. So again, I'm happily married. Been married for 20 plus years now. The first go around, I'm an open book. I talk about all my stuff with people all the time. I was on the pharmacy show earlier talking about health stuff. So I talk about what I'm feeling, what I'm doing.
We know you.
Yeah. People know me. So the first time around, it didn't work out. There's no hard feelings there. Haven't spoken to that person in a long time. We were married for about 3 years. We both were really young. We did not have much when the divorce took place, and it just basically fell along those fault lines. That was my vehicle. That was her vehicle. That stuff came from my house and me. That stuff came from her house and her. The amount of stuff we had accumulated in 3 years really didn't amount to much yet.
Okay.
So it just and we just both signed and it was done.
Yeah.
So it was very amicable. It was no pressure, and I'm thankful for that because it could have been a lot worse if we were fighting over that kind of stuff.
Do you mind me asking, did you have similar incomes?
At that time, she made more money than me.
Okay.
Brand new. She was a teacher, but I was only a part-time reporter at that time. So, but there was no fight. There was no fight there because we just knew it wasn't right. There was no. I don't think there was any real hatred or anything.
I would say you're probably one of the lucky ones. You know, because it's not always that simple.
Yeah.
But it should be. I mean, it really.
It is because, in my opinion, I agree with you. Like, obviously, if there's major issues that cause a huge rift or whatever, that's different. But in general, if it just kind of falls apart and you go your separate ways, that is somebody you did at one time think you were going to be around and spend your time with.
Correct.
So why not just be as fair and equitable as possible?
There's a lot to be said for, swallowing your pride and taking a step back and just walking away.
Yep.
But I make a lot of money on principle.
Yeah.
Because people want to fight out a principle, right?
Yeah.
And that's not, I mean, it's
right.
the truth.
And it's obviously good for your business.
Sure it is.
But at the same time, you look at it as like a human being and like, what are you doing?
I know it can be prevented, right?
Yeah.
And a prenup is one way.
Yeah.
There's no arguments over a prenup. It's black and white. You're getting this. You're not getting this.
Right.
It's going to happen this way.
This one note I really think is interesting you have here too, that a prenup is not necessarily set in stone. It can be edited, modified, changed, revoked at any time.
I think that's one way if you're having trouble with that discussion with your future spouse or soon-to-be spouse about a prenup is to maybe talk to them about the fact this doesn't have to be forever.
Yeah.
I've written them before where if they are married greater than 10 years, then the prenup is void. It automatically voids.
Triggers itself.
Yeah, absolutely. I have put in clauses where if there's children born of the marriage, at that point, certain paragraphs of it are discharged. So maybe you're not getting alimony is discharged because now you have children and you're going to probably want alimony and need alimony.
Yeah.
So there's some ways to like sort of pattern it to every possible scenario.
Yes.
But at the same time, if you're married 25 years, you said 25 this year?
No, we're 20 years. Yep.
20
years in October.
This year.
Yep.
At that point, you could just look at each other and say, what do we have? We don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
Let's just get rid of this. And you can void it. You can do
Actually, that could be like a nice little recommit kind of thing, too. Like, my goodness, this is not changing. You know what I mean? That kind of thing, too.
Yeah.
So love comes back around.
It's always there. It's always there. You can always amend it. As long as you both agree, it can definitely be amended. It can be edited. It can be terminated.
Right.
And I've seen them happen in all the ways. And it can also, if you didn't have one, and maybe now you're thinking we should have one, maybe you inherited something from a family member, or I've actually had situations where I've had family members come to us concerned about giving gifts to their children because of them having a spouse.
Okay.
So for example, say
like a trickle down concern.
Correct. Yeah. So like my father wants to I don't know, transfer the family company to me, but he's concerned about my husband. So
doesn't want him to get it necessarily.
Can you write this up?
Yeah.
So to protect my child from this inheritance that I want to give them.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate again. I think what we see when you and I get into these subjects, we often in a perfect world, none of this would really matter because everyone would be good and kind to each other. But that's not the world we live in. It's just not how it works.
I wouldn't have a job.
I know, but it would be nice. Yeah, it's a nice dream.
I always tell people up front, there's an easy way and a hard way to do things, and you get an attorney involved, the court involved. You want the hard way.
Yeah.
We're here because you can't always control that,
right?
And we're ready to help you out in the event you need help, but at the same time, there's also another path.
Right.
And that's all I wanted to educate everybody on today is about this other path,
Exactly.
If you're in love and you're thinking about marriage, come talk to an attorney about a prenup.
There you go.
Just see.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're not in love. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get married.
It's probably the most inexpensive thing you can do.
There you go.
To control what happens in the event of a breach of your marriage.
Right. So I this next headline I like. It says divorce when love turns petty.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
So once you enter that contract, you can't control what happens with the other side.
Yeah.
They fall out of love with you, they cheat on you, whatever the case may be.
Sure.
And it does happen. love can get very petty,
Yeah.
very petty, to the point of it's almost disgusting at times.
Yeah.
I think I may have talked before about the case where another attorney and I were court ordered to go to somebody's house, a divorcing couple's house, to inventory their pots and pans and their kitchen items because they were fighting over their pots and pans and kitchen items. This was so important and neither one of them were like chefs or anything.
It's not like this is good stuff.
No, well, I think it was good stuff, but I mean, it's not like, why couldn't you just go buy another set?
Or split it, or just be relaxed.
So
if this person wants this, they can have that.
I mean, I warned my client, you're going to pay me so much money to go do this, but he insisted, and the same happened on the other side. She insisted, so we went and we spent all day inventorying their household goods, and the court made us do it, and it's expensive. Like you're paying, upwards of $40,000, the two of you together, for junk that's worth $2,000 or $3,000.
That's what you have written here too, and that ties right into it. Divorce isn't really about love ending; it's about control, fear, and money.
It truly is.
So that pots and pans, that was about control.
It is. It's all about control, power, fear of being left alone, and money at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I also think that this section is very interesting too. And I'm reading right from her notes; she's just so good.
I just want to have a good outlet.
No, it helps a lot.
So,
So people don't fight over things; they fight over meaning, and this is just powerful stuff.
Yeah.
The house equals stability, the custody equals identity, and the dog equals emotional leverage.
Those are the three things we fight about the most.
Really?
For sure. The house, because they take a lot of pride in your home.
Sure.
And you've made it your home, whether you build it, whether you spent hours and hours looking for it, finding it, making it your own, decorating it.
Right.
It's home.
Right.
And nobody wants to leave home, and that is your sign of stability. That's where you lay your head.
Right.
That's where you feel safe.
And you both probably that is one thing I think, especially if you put a lot of time into it and you both live there for a long period of time.
Yeah.
That is one part where it could get sticky.
For sure.
Because you both, that's where you feel like you can let yourself down and be you.
Yeah.
You both probably have that feeling.
And you both invested a lot into it.
Yeah.
Emotionally and financially.
Right.
And it's hard. Let's face it. Getting a house it's not easy anymore.
Right,
I kind
no.
of feel bad for these youngins.
It's a rough market out
My
there.
niece is looking for a house, and I know it's rough.
Yeah.
And you got to have so much money down, and
it's a different world.
It's a different world than when we were looking for houses when we got married.
Yeah, and they weren't. The lending isn't the same anymore either. There's no real mom and pop banks either that are just going to be like, yeah, you see, the George Baileys of the world aren't out there.
They're
it's not
definitely
happening.
No.
So
it means even more to people now.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I just had a conference a few weeks ago, and we're fighting over the property, and the hearing officer said, neither one of you can afford this on your own. I mean, neither one of them could. They can't refinance the mortgage out of the other one's name, and there's no option but to sell it. And that is a sickening moment for those couples, because there's really, like, what is the other solution? There really isn't one.
Yeah.
You can't afford it. You have to sell it. And that's heartbreaking.
I think so too.
So,
and obviously custody, you said, is identity, and the dog, a dog or cat, or whatever, emotional leverage.
Custody is tough. They in divorce cases, it gets really ugly, and it's almost like they're a war pawn, a weapon. They weaponize children.
That's not good.
No, definitely not.
Don't do that.
It's very sad. Please don't.
That's
do
me.
That.
It's outside of any legal. Just don't weaponize your kids. Just don't do that. It's not the kid's fault.
No.
Just because you are breaking the marriage up, it's not their fault.
You love your kids.
That's right.
Don't do that.
Don't make them a weapon.
No.
Don't make them a
keep
weapon.
Keep them out of it.
Yeah.
Definitely keep them out of it.
One thing, you have another thing here that's very interesting. Text messages written while angry, drunk, or emotional become courtroom exhibits.
Yeah.
I bet you see a lot of wild stuff.
Oh, for sure. We've talked before about, how social media can bring you down.
Oh, yeah.
So just be careful with your social media.
Right.
And that's going to be like one of my mornings at the end of the day today. But so watch what you say on, social media, or even just text messaging your ex, or, during
that can be discoverable,
a drunken stupor,
right?
100%. Yeah, I've used text messages. I've had them used against me. I know one case. I had a client. I had no idea these text messages existed, none whatsoever. And trust me, I've asked a question, And then I get blindsided by it, and you really put your attorney at a disadvantage.
Awesome.
And honestly, I don't even know if my client knew they existed
Right.
because I think it might have come in
Wow,
the middle of the night,
intoxicated or-
intoxicated, feeling a little gutsy, and
Yeah.
it definitely hurts your case.
So let me ask you, and this is just from, if the text messages have been deleted, they can still be recovered.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that, and I'm asking that question kind of tongue in cheek because I think people often think that you can just, oh, well, that was deleted, that's gone.
Yeah.
There was an ad campaign a long time ago that said you can't erase cyberspace with stuff you post online.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially the same thing with your communications. If you communicated it, it's cached somewhere.
Yeah, it's there, and
Even if you deleted and they deleted, it's still somewhere.
I don't know about you, Josh, but I know my husband's cloud information. You probably know your wife's, and I'm sure she knows yours.
Sure.
And my husband knows mine. So you think you deleted it, but guess what? It's up in that cloud. And,
That's right.
And I will find it. And
Right.
so just be careful.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't do it. Just don't do
Right.
it.
Make good decisions. And we come back to that a lot too. It's a good life rule. If you pick up your phone and you start to type it and you feel like it's something you shouldn't send, you probably shouldn't send
No,
it.
we have in a lot of custody and divorce actions, we use court-appointed apps. One's called My Family Wizard, and the other one is Close App.
Okay.
And they're you pay for them. It's a subscription, but that's how you communicate to each other.
Okay.
And you can't delete any messages, and it actually has a tone sensor in the message. So if you try to send a message that the app doesn't like, it'll stop the send, have you edit it before you send it.
Wow.
And fix it so it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And then send it out. Allow you to send it afterwards.
It might not be a bad idea. It's protecting you from yourself.
100% not a bad idea, but isn't it sad that we have to
Yes.
have that?
Yes.
So,
It's like governors on vehicles and stuff though too. I mean,
Yeah.
literally most guys would get in and go 120 miles an hour everywhere if they could.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's the same kind of stuff. There's a part of human nature that's just a little bit
you
messy.
just can't resist. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't resist. But that's a big caution, is just watch your text messages, and honestly, like when it comes to divorce, you're not going to help yourself by fighting and battling
No.
over text message.
No.
The point you've engaged attorneys, and you're at that point, just let the attorneys handle it.
Yeah. And I would imagine your recommendation too, the more professional and reserved that you present yourself to your spouse, the better that's going to help your case if you're in a divorce proceeding.
Yeah, and it.
Try not to engage at all.
Yeah.
But if you have to engage, if you can keep track of it, so you can use the text messages in the opposite way too.
Yeah.
You can keep track of, look, I was professional and reserved the entire time.
Yep. And the judges pick up on that. I just had a court hearing this week where the judge complimented my client and the opposing counsel's client on how kind they were to each other.
Which is a good thing.
And the judge was sorry they were in the situation.
Yep.
And she'll happily decide the case, but that she commended both of them for how they respected one another
Yeah.
in the courtroom
I like that.
and during these proceedings.
Maybe they'll end up back together.
She actually said this is one of the most unusual cases I've seen in that.
Yeah.
You both are very poised and polite to each other.
Yeah.
And she restrained from saying things that, most people would have no problem coming out and saying.
Wow.
But doesn't get you anywhere.
No, but I do think it's a good reflection on their character
It
too.
definitely reflects on their character.
Yeah, I like that. And I
judges do see that.
This little note here, nothing kills romance faster than seeing your love life printed in a court filing.
Yeah. And
I
again,
believe
it's open court. So it's
Everybody's seeing it.
And sometimes when you have a divorce hearing, there's 5 or 6 other hearings scheduled the same exact time, so you're all sitting in the room together.
So whatever
waiting.
you call your wife or husband, your kids are going to know about it. Your mom and dad are going to know about it. Everyone's going to they all have the ability to then know what you said.
This is a funny story. So I had one time, my client was so convinced that their text messages were going to prove them, they didn't do what they're accused of doing. I said, okay, bring them into me. And so I pulled them out, and you have to, for purposes of evidence, you have to show where it came from, like the number and the date. You have to be very complete in what we're putting into the court. So when I get everything ready and printed out, the name that my client has the opposing party saved as
God.
on their phone a shithead.
Oh, God.
Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know.
Sorry.
We may have just been FCC violated. Apologies upstairs. It's all right, but that was, I get you. So bad name.
Very bad name.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's, but that's the kind of stuff you don't even necessarily think about.
I never expected it. And I said, you legitimately expect me to show this to the judge.
Right. You put me in a bad spot.
I'm not showing the judge.
Right.
No, we're not using this.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, we can't just contain yourself.
Yeah.
Change it before you print it out.
Exactly.
Or something. I don't know.
I agree with you.
But yeah, love gets petty. That's for sure.
I agree.
It really does.
So before we got about 10 minutes left. We got one more section, but just for those folks that are just joining us, Josh Krysak, Wendy O'Brien, a couple of things with Wendy and Josh. We're talking about love and romance, marriage, divorce, all things law. Wendy, how can they get in touch with Proden O'Brien?
Yes, so Proden O'Brien, we are right on Main Street in Uniontown, before the courthouse, building number 99. Stop in and see us. Our phone number is 724-437-3484. We have 3 attorneys there, 2 paralegals, a receptionist. We're full staff. We're ready to help you, take care of you.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
Yeah, I agree. And if you are on the fence about an attorney or where you want to go, Wendy's super easy to talk to. And I actually, from my prior life as a reporter, know Jeff pretty well too. And I've gotten to know your third party, Sean Lemontowski. Very nice guy too.
Yeah.
I think that you would be in good hands. So.
We went to lunch today to talk about some business stuff with the office, and Sean is celebrating 8 years with our law firm.
And he's not
Isn't
new
that
anymore.
exciting?
He's not new anymore.
Yeah.
Because he seems like he's still new, but he's not.
No, he's not.
That's awesome.
He's no longer a baby.
That's awesome. And if you ever meet Wendy and Sean together in person, it's very much a back and forth. He's the straight man to her insanity. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
That is pretty accurate.
We make a good team.
I watched you two function at the Best in Fayette. This is a multiple award winner. So this woman right here, best individual attorney in Fayette County, won her silver medal right there. So
thank you everybody for voting.
Yeah, absolutely. So crimes of passion, love is not a defense.
Yeah.
So talk to me about this.
Okay, so you and I, we're crime junkies.
We are.
How many of those, murder?
Yes.
I crime junkie things. Yes.
She couldn't be with anyone else.
Yes, I walked in on she was with somebody else.
I was in a rage because I love her so much.
I love her so much. Yeah, and sorry. That does not help you. That is not a defense.
Gotcha.
I know you love them.
Yeah.
You don't kill them if you love them.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Right.
And the law might mitigate a little bit, off of first degree homicide.
Sure.
But it's still a homicide.
Those circumstances, they're going to be told.
Yeah.
And they could maybe even help your perception with some people. Yeah. But it doesn't make it okay.
And I promise you, the district attorney's office knows how to exploit that too.
Yeah.
Because when you show up with, a loaded gun and you're ready to run and you have a place to bury the body, I'm pretty sure you thought this through and it wasn't a crime of passion.
Yeah. I love some of the things that you write. You write things very succinctly. Jealousy doesn't reduce charges. Rage doesn't erase responsibility.
Yeah. So I know that people get so upset at each other. Love is one of the strongest emotions, if not probably the strongest
Absolutely.
emotion somebody can feel.
Yeah.
And you're lucky to feel it in your life.
Yeah.
And you're blessed to have that. And when you lose it, it can be devastating.
Yes.
And we hear terrible stories. We've seen I've seen clients of mine be so upset that they do some really dumb stuff.
Yes.
And it's sad. But you gotta control those emotions.
Yes.
Because they're not going to help you in anything. And if you start committing criminal acts, it's not a defense for you.
I agree. And again, I'm an open book with everything, and I like to use myself as an example because it's easy and I don't mind picking on myself. When I get into an argument, if it's somebody that I care about and love, I'm more likely to be passionate.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I can feel myself heading to a bad place where I'm allowing myself to continue to spiral.
Yes.
So that's where, as adults, we have to take that step back, take that deep breath. You got to stop because you're going to say something you're going to regret. In my case, it's saying something. I'm not going to do anything else. But you don't know. That's how those things spiral.
Yeah,
it's not may not start out as premeditated.
No.
Obviously. And it spirals.
And you can actually, it's possible that you're the one that ends up getting hurt.
Yeah.
If you show up, knowing
you push the right buttons.
Yeah. Well, if you show up knowing you're your spouse or ex whoever is with some other person.
Yep.
You show up at their house and you could get killed.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't just roll into somebody else's property either.
Yeah.
No matter your intent, no
Yeah.
matter what you're feeling or your emotions.
Right.
So yeah, you really gotta. Crime of passion it's a tough one, and
I bet.
and some we see a lot of. How are we on time? Are we good?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
like 6 minutes.
So we see a lot of this comes up a lot with PFAs and simple assaults, strangulation cases,
Yeah.
harassment, stalking, those kinds of things. You did it because you love them. You did it because your feelings were hurt. Again,
Right.
I can't help you with that. That's you got to control your emotions.
Right. So you say here, why I love them too much is often used. Why is it often used? Is it because it's true?
You're right. That's exactly what people say. Like
Yeah.
I love them too much. It's like I just get overcome with
Right.
emotion.
It's almost a physiological response that they haven't found a way to better mitigate in themselves.
And most people, I think you'll find this interesting. In my experience, most people that actually have that happen to them, where they're so emotionally bound to this other person, are probably more likely to reconcile with this person than others.
Yes.
And of course, it usually ends badly again.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that are so emotionally tied, and it's usually mutual.
Yeah.
That they both have such strong emotions for each other that they're almost committing assault on each other because of their I love them so much.
It's super interesting, and I think that that's something that you and I, again, as crime junkies, we hear that a lot in our true crime podcasts. You can kind of see the writing on the wall as like these relationships develop, certain personalities, the way they mesh with one another.
Right.
They become dependent, so codependent on each other too. That's all a part of it. But again, it's all about coping skills and being able to take that step back.
Well, and when somebody tells you they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
And that's the one case I remember was a pretty tough one. We had somebody that put a tracker on the ex's car, and I could not understand that. And the response was, well, I just want to make sure she was safe. I love her so much. And that just did not fly in court. That is just creepy.
Yeah.
You
You can't do that.
There's no defense with that.
Yeah.
You just cannot do that.
Right. And literally, I mean, now we're in the world, Find My Phone app, just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally a lot of spouses do that, share that information with each other. I think it's a good way to have accountability, especially if there are challenges in the marriage.
Yeah.
But, there's better ways to go about it than actually putting a tracker on without the other person's knowledge and letting them ride around with it. So
No, it's they're going to find out.
that in and of itself is, I would imagine, could be an illegal act.
It is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a PFA and the harassment and stalking charge. Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, and the state police is the one that found the GPS for us. It was easy to figure out. She was going and staying places that there would have been no reason for him to know where she was.
Yeah.
And he shows up. I mean, that eventually
you're going to start to figure out how he knows.
Yes.
So love might explain why you did it, but it won't save you from what happens next.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, she's got the dramatic lines.
So just in your head, I know it makes sense.
Yep.
And love is a great emotion, and it's a wonderful time of year for that.
Yes.
But don't forget, it's not. Yeah, you will have consequences.
Yeah.
It's not a justification to your end. So don't let that be your reason.
Yeah.
You show up with a gun, or you put a GPS on someone, or you're tailing
Right.
somebody, or
Just make good decisions.
Make
Be
good
an adult.
decisions.
Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Literally, talk to somebody. And it could be an attorney, but it can also just be a friend, a loved one, someone you trust. Tell them how you're feeling.
And I guarantee you, every single one of my, friends and colleagues here in Fayette County, we all have references to great counselors too. Mm-hmm. Divorce is tough.
Yeah.
So we can help you. We can help
Right.
you find a counselor that will help you get through it.
Absolutely. So, closing thoughts.
Yes.
If your relationship ever requires a judge, a restraining order, or a transcript, you didn't fail at love. You ignored the warning signs. Happy Valentine's Day. I love it. It's true, though. You're right.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't mean that you failed.
No, this isn't a.
This is something that millions of people are going to go through. And we're talking about extreme cases with this
Yeah,
kind of stuff with the
course,
tracking and everything. if you go through this, it doesn't mean that you're a failure and that love could still be out there for you. But the key thing is to talk to an attorney.
Yeah, and just because you want to talk about a prenup, it doesn't mean that you're predicting your love to fail.
Correct.
Not at all. You're just, making sure there's some guidelines, some guardrails for you.
Yes.
As you go down this highway of
Correct.
love.
Guardrails, same thing. Being an organ donor doesn't mean you're going to crash.
Correct.
It's the same principle.
Exact thing.
Yep.
Exactly.
So we got 1 minute for a couple of things.
All right, couple of things.
I'm ready.
Okay, I want to start with the Olympics. I'm so excited about the
Me
Olympics.
too. Every night. That's all I do.
I'm a hockey junkie, so right now as we speak, USA is playing. So
Nice.
And Canada won this morning.
They did. Sid had 2 assists.
Yes.
Sidney Crosby.
Go Sid. So we're pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
And what are you doing for Valentine's Day this weekend?
So we have dinner reservations tomorrow night at a nice restaurant here in Fayette County.
Good.
How about you?
We're going to see my son play hockey out in New Jersey. So we're going to be out
That's
in town.
good.
And yeah, we're
Sounds
super
like
excited.
a fun time. And you got your nails done for.
Yes.
There they are. Her
Yes.
famous nails ready for Valentine's
Couple
Day.
things.
Hot pink with hearts on there. TJ
I know, I
liked
should've
those. He
wore
saw
red.
those earlier.
Did he?
Yeah, so.
It looks like the weather's going to be nice this weekend too. So
Which is gonna
get
be good.
outside
That's
and
right.
do something fun, hopefully.
And the roads aren't going to be bad. So
Thank goodness.
Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Happy Valentine's, everybody.
Yep. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us. TJ, back to you.
It's WMBS Uniontown. It's 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Stacey.